What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this is the wrestling news on January 17th, 2025, where we're going to be talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you Assassinators need to know from the Wrestling Inc. article, including Pat McAfee to miss this coming Monday's Raw for college football championship. Like WWE set on sale date for a single day for tickets for WrestleMania 41. WWE and TNA announced multi-year partnership, and Dave Meltzer ties WWE running SNME, was sent for Saturday Night's Main Event, of course, against AEW pay-per-view to history and much more. But start off with Pat McAfee news, as he's probably going to miss this coming Monday for commitment of calling the action of the NCAA National Championship game of football, of course. And it says right here that Pat McAfee has only been back in WWE for about a month following the college football regular season, but the former NFL punter is once again preparing to step away temporarily. McAfee is said to have a strong presence at the college football championship on this coming Monday, including live coverage for the game itself. As a result, McAfee will miss the upcoming edition of Monday Night Raw, the third straight week on Netflix. It says right here, as for McAfee, he made his return during Saturday night's Main Event last month, before reappearing on the Raw on Netflix debut, along with his fellow announcer Michael Cole, that he'll continue serving as a commentator for the show as long as his schedule allows. This isn't a new arrangement for McAfee, as he has previously called both Raw and SmackDown in different points before leaving during the college football game day season to serve as the co-host of the events. It says under normal circumstances, Corey Graves would likely serve as the fill-in for McAfee. However, after expressing dissatisfaction about being moved from Raw to NXT at the start of this year so far, Graves was reportedly sent home ahead of this week's show and hasn't been utilized on any WWE programming ever since. Monday's edition of WWE Raw is set to feature the recognition of a long-running rivalry, as Seth Rollins will compete against the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre to go to battle once again, just like at WrestleMania 40 last year, which they called it the rematch of that event, by the way. But anyway, the New Day will be in action as well and have a match. And the company has announced the return of the WWE Hall of Famer himself, John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL for short. And it's worth noting that JBL previously spent years as a commentator for both Raw and SmackDown before. So if they don't bring in Corey Graves, they can always lean back on JBL, which they were planning on that a week ahead. Wait, Pat McAfee's going to be too busy with the with the college game day, the college game day of the championship, which will probably be his last game before the next season, which is this fall, if I'm not mistaken. But they're probably going to be having someone like JBL will help fill in for the help fill in for the punter, former punter of the Indianapolis Colts, and, yeah, and like if they, and then also in case they don't have Corey Graves, if he refused, and he's trying to find his way out of the company for treating him like this way, with him being not much of the most popular commentator in the business, which I think that is such gibberish talk. I think he is the star of behind the booth, and he could have been a star if it wasn't for his brutal injuries, which I hope that there's some way that he can change his mind. They can come in agreement of him coming back as a in-ring competitor, with him making his return in the ring by the Royal Rumble will be probably a perfect way to make his return at. Just throwing out some ideas and some possibilities that this could happen. But anyways, the 2025 college football championship game will pit Notre Dame against Ohio State University with a kickoff scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Eastern, pardon me, and on Monday, January 20th. But Wrestling Inc. has reached out to WWE to require which unfortunately does not show they they answered in WWE sources. But I'm not. Well, yeah, maybe it's best for me not to know yet. But who do you think is going to take Pat McAfee's place while Pat McAfee's doing this for the college football championship? Are they going to rely on their former commentator, former wrestler that's a Hall of Famer, perhaps? Or do you think they're going to try to beg Corey Graves back to fill in for him if he ever does agrees to make an appearance on this coming Monday? But either way, let me know in the comment section right down below. But let's move on to the next slide. We got WWE sets on sale for single day tickets for WrestleMania 41. And it says right here, for the first time in over 30 years, WWE is taking WrestleMania to the city of Las Vegas with Allegiant Stadium penciled in as the host venue. The 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 41st annual WrestleMania will span 2 days, beginning on Saturday, April 19th, and ending on Sunday, April 20th. It says next week fans will not. Will now next week fans will now have the opinion to purchase single day tickets for the premium live event, in addition to the 2 day combos previously released in October. According to a new press release, individual event tickets for WrestleMania 41 will roll out next week, beginning with pre-sale opportunities launching at 12 p.m. Eastern noon time, on Wednesday, January 22nd. General ticket sales will follow on Friday, January 24th, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, via and via Ticketmaster, like WrestleMania 41 Priority Pass single day ticket packages like are already like available courtesy of its travel partner like on location one package like offers like fans like one night tickets like in upper level seating like in addition to like a de- dedicated entrance like and access like to WWE World and like Superstore like prices like for this respective package begins at $875 right per person like in last year's WrestleMania event, like broke WWE's all-time gay record in a single day. Like once the pyro like smoke like cleared, the reports indicated that night two of WrestleMania 40 specifically set the professional wrestling record for the largest gate like for a single day event like with 18,433,000 $433,325 like like with the million growth in ticket sales like night one of WrestleMania 40 which was headlined by a tag team match between Roman Reigns and The Rock taking on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes like now like follows like closely behind in second having grows in 17 million like 656,965 dollars. That's a lot of money for ticket sales like in at the showcase events. But anyways, what are your thoughts onto this very large numbers of when it comes to ticket sales at WrestleMania? And do you think it's going to be just as great as the last year's WrestleMania, which I think of the decade, that was number one, the number one best Mania I have ever watched. Yeah, for sure. But what are your thoughts on this year's Mania? Do you think he's going to get those same numbers, and we're going to keep WrestleMania probably gonna be at least the second place to WrestleMania 40? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But let's move on to the next slide and talk about some TNA partnership news. Excuse me for a moment. Okay. All right, bro. Later on. Okay, SNA Assassinators continuing on the wrestling news. And WWE announced a multi-year deal on their partnership. And ever since Jordan Grace followed up like her appearance at last year's Women's Royal Rumble with a brief run in NXT in June, like the WWE and TNA working relationship, like has been going strong. In fact, it's been so obvious, like the two sides were working together, that one would that would think one would think there's be no reason for WWE and TNA to make it any more obvious, and yet they decided to do just that. Like Thursday afternoon yesterday, in a press release, WWE and TNA confirmed the worst kept secret in wrestling, like announcing a multi-year partnership. Arguably, the only new piece of information beyond that, however, many of the details will be familiar to fans, with TNA talent cross promotion, with WWE and NXT, and vice versa, though no mention was made of potential crossover between TNA and WWE's main roster. Like you stated, the historic relationship demonstrates that collaboration, and competition, do not have to be but mutually exclusive. Like senior VP, of content in distribution, for or TNA Wrestling and Anthem Sports and Entertainment, Ariel Ariel Schneider Sniller, said in a statement, our partnership allows the TNA wrestling brand and its incredible athletes to reach a significantly wider audience, while giving WWE and NXT stars an opportunity to cross the line and gain valuable experience, as they join forces with one of the most talented rosters in professional wrestling today. The response to our collaboration over the past year has been tremendous, and both companies have benefit the but the fans have reaped the greatest rewards from the talent crossover and working relationship. NXT head and WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels was was equally as excited, and to and this is what he had to say, is sharing his 2 cents in. We took forward to growing and evolving our partnership with TNA Wrestling and its outstanding group of athletes by creating new opportunities to further the development of our talent, and and elevate the viewer experience at home. But what are your thoughts onto this very joyous and exciting news, of partnering with their former rivals, the Nashville-based promotion, also known as TNA, like into a long-term deal? And do you think this is the best decision that they could ever made in their life? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. No, I think that they probably made the best, if not the greatest decision, of doing that. And I do think this perk is this perk, and that means that these perks are going to include the TNA wrestlers could go over to the main roster and vice versa, or do you think it's probably just going to be exclusively on NXT and that's about it? But some tells me it's going to be also including the main roster, with even the likes of Joe Hendry and what's her name, and Jordan Grace could even make an appearance at the Royal Rumble in the men's and women's division, respectively. But either way, let me know in the comments down below what's your opinion on to the matter. But moving on, we got Dave Meltzer ties WWE running like Saturday's main event against AEW pay-per-views like to history. While many fans don't believe there is a war going on between WWE and AEW, like that sentiment couldn't be more different than at the executives level. Like the latest chess like move between the two companies were made by WWE when it was revealed on Peacock's list like of upcoming major events that the two Saturday nights main event shows like would be taking place on May and in July, like respectively. Like, and the funny thing is, it's gonna be on May 24th and July 12th, like which that sounds very way too similar to another wrestling company having these dates already set for the particular pay-per-view events. Like is it Memorial Day is in the Memorial Day weekend, the same weekend as AEW would usually host their Double or Nothing pay per view. Like while July 12th is funny, hilariously like the same day when AEW will present their All In Texas event, like this year in 2025. But yeah, it says right here in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer detailed how it's not a coincidence to WWE to counter program on major event from an opposing company as Vince McMahon like used to the same thing to Jim Crockett's promotion like and WCW in the 80s and 90s. Like he noted that Survivor Series was created as a way to go head to head like with Starcade. Like in 1987, like a show that if the pay-per-view providers like carried like McMahon like purportedly like wouldn't give them access to uh WrestleMania 4 like in 1988, although like the providers like that carry like Star that carried Starcade got access to WrestleMania 4 like and regardless the Royal Rumble was also created like to go head to head with the 1988 Bunkhouse Stampede, and despite Crockett still being able to function like after the shows, there was a distant the distinct loss like in venue and revenue like for the company that was around $25 million like per year like towards the end of the 1980s. Like McMahon tried to do the 1989, but cable companies pushed back, like, and ultimately went to Ted Turner and asked him to run a pay-per-view against WWE's uh, greatest showcase of the Immortals event, the 5th year anniversary of the showcase of the Immortals event, forcing McMahon to back down from playing the hardball, like with and WCW aired a free special instead. the more things change, the more they stay the same. Like shifting to the present day, Meltzer was able to confirm two things from speaking to various sources when it comes to May 24th, AEW with not planning on running Double or Nothing on the day, preferring like to run it on May 25th, like as it is outside of football season, like and that the reaction to the Peacock listings it was not received well, but by someone who Meltzer doesn't name, leading to the listings like being removed in 2 days later. And funny thing about that, I think they did that last year, like on back in back on Saturday, like the day before what's called Double or Nothing, like yeah, Saturday, like on Memorial Day weekend. Well, AEW had it on Sunday, the day before Memorial Day. So I think that's what they're going to be doing here this year yet again. But what are your thoughts on Saturday? But this time is going to be Saturday night's main event, which they probably don't have a pay-per-view. Maybe they don't have a pay-per-view for May and even July. So that's why they're probably going to have the Saturday night's main event to feature on there. Like probably. There's probably just there's probably some perks that they offered like for Saturday nights. I mean for NBC Comcast, like for renewing their deal with USA on SmackDown. Like renewing it. I say renewing their deal, but put SmackDown onto the show instead. Like and no, that's where they probably they renew it so they can have special events come on the NBC channel. But what are your thoughts on the Saturday night's main event going to be on the same day as AEW All In on July 12th? And do you think they purposely did that so they can be on some super duper huge competition? But I hate to tell WWE, this is the only time they're probably going to be losing in ratings here because. Like everybody's mostly gonna be watching All In because that's their WrestleMania of AEW, I guess you could say. But let me know down in the comment section right down below who's going to be winning these ratings battle into the weekend of Memorial Day and on early July when AEW goes to Texas. And where do you think that that WWE Saturday night's main event is going to be located at? Let me know also about that in the comments. But anyways, we got Tommy Dreamer addresses like how WWE handled Penta's debut on Raw. On this week's episode of WWE Raw, former AEW Tag Team Champion Penta made his official WWE debut, which Tommy Dreamer believes to be as good, if not better, as Taz's from the 2000 Royal Rumble. While speaking on the Busted Open Radio, the innovator of violence heaped even more praise for Penta's premiere showing, which pitted him against American-made Chad Gable. He explains Chad was a perfect opponent for him. As we always say, here on Busted Open, someone went over and someone got over. Penta got over huge, and Chad suffered nothing in that loss. Which that's what I kind of said on my podcast this past Monday. I was and it seemed like nobody got buried here. It's exactly what it needed to be. And Penta needed this win more than Chad Gable, even though he'd been losing most of the time. But I don't think it's gonna kill any pushes that he's gonna be having in the foreseeable future. But anyways, as for the commentary surrounding Penta's debut, Dreamer noted that he was slightly surprised by the references to his previous work in Lucha Underground and TNA wrestling. The the latter, like in which like he once reigned like as the TNA World Champion, which that's a very a large achievement to be proud of. But it was a real as commentary like could get like obviously there nothing going to mention AEW, but same traveling the world doing all of this stuff, mentioning all the titles that he's held, and now like he's finally here in the WWE. Like it was a moment following his victory over Gable. Penta cut a emotional post-match promo stating that he had WWE to be his new yeah, his new home in the new Penta era. Like Penta's arrival to the WWE comes after his AEW contract reportedly expired, like in late 2024, thus making him a free agent. His brother Ray Phoenix, on the other hand, like remains under contract with the Elite, with the All Elite Wrestling promotion. But what are your thoughts on Tommy Dreamer's opinion about how Penta did? And do you think that it's a yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below on what your opinions about Penta's debut, and do you think that Penta's going to be having a very fantastic run? Like, and do you think he can eventually go after for the world championship? Maybe that's yet to be seen, but we will likely probably will be going after and the accomplishments like up next into his journey in WWE. Just only just a matter of time for that, but yeah, I think he did a very totally I'll say what word to use, like no Trey, you okay, let's go. Phenomenal job in his debut with Chad Gable and him showing that what he can offer from WWE, and I think WWE's going to see that and wish like large things in his future, like in him joining WWE. Okay, excuse me for a moment. Okay, Assassinators. Back here, we got a backstage update on when SmackDown in May returns to 2 hour form in the 2 hour format, and it says right here, like since the beginning of 2025, like in WWE began airing like for 3 hours, like on the USA Network, making it like the first time that the Blue brand has added an extra hour to their programming, like since like the show debuted in 1999. However, shortly after the transition to the 3 hours, like WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H announced that SmackDown would be returning to a 2 hour program, but did not confirm like when the change would take place. Dave Meltzer has now revealed in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, like when SmackDown is expected to return to its original runtime, and like touched like on the difference regarding like a commercial breaks like between the WWE program like on Netflix and Peacock. Is what he had to state on the latest newsletter, like for SmackDown, there is not a set date like regarding like the move back to 2 hours. Although May or June is the current time frame, like just past Mania, with the idea they have more stuff to get across through Mania is in the US, like on Netflix. If you like started the live show late, you actually like got it commercial free, like at least like this week, like until you caught unless you caught up to the live feed, and if you watched it on a longer delay, you didn't catch up the live feed. Like it was commercial free on Peacock. Like not like only like do they like add like commercials like for the replays like like that aren't like they're live, but you can't like fast forward you cannot fast forward through them. WWE Raw like reverted like back to its usual 3 hour 3 hour format in the beginning of this year. Like after cutting the show like down an hour, like from October through December. That being said, it seems like WWE has the opportunity to be flexible with their runtime on Netflix, with this past Monday's Raw being like two like in a half hours like long, like which Triple H reportedly believes in that sweet spot like for the show. But what are your thoughts on what's the what are your thoughts on their take on to when SmackDown's gonna be back on for 2 hours? And do you think that it is going to be like in June or May or June, which I would assume it may be in May. Like if there's like a possibility it's going to still going to happen, I think it's going to be like just a little bit of a month after the showcase of the Immortals. I guess just to get some extra ratings, like for on the road to WrestleMania 41, but like this is probably a ratings pop, but I understand what was the point of moving it to 3 hours if it's not going to be a permanent move. But that's WWE's decision, so I'm not there to control things. So I'm just gonna leave it like there. But let me know down in the comment section right down below. But or do you think it's too much time and they're just wasting an extra hour of runtime, like just to get the fans continue to watch? But I don't think that's always the case. But it depends. Like if they just keep showing too many commercial breaks, then I would see what everybody's talking about. But if they're just having just a total nonstop of matches and segments and stuff like that, that's telling the story in the SmackDown roster, I would not mind for it to be 3 hours, in my opinion. But give me y'all's in the comments, like if y'all love it or hate it. Like just give me y'all's honest opinions. Be honest to your favorite Super Ninja Assassin. But we're going to end today's wrestling news video with Bully Ray express his concern, like with newly announced deal with between WWE and TNA. This week, WWE and TNA Wrestling formalized like their partnership with a multi-year deal like that will allow talent from WWE, NXT, and TNA like to continue the ability to cross over into each other's territories. Like naturally, like Bully Ray, like who has ties to both WWE and TNA, is excited about his development. At the same time, like though, like he has one worry. And on the latest Bustin' Open Radio, he shares his 2 cents by uh, asking his concern if if I have to look at this from the other side. Like, will the WWE allow TNA to do business like their way in question? Like, will they just say listen, TNA, you run your creative the way because one of my concerns, like when we had the conversation like a year ago, is that when we first saw the relationship was if the WWE were ever to buy TNA or be involved with it too much, like would their creative now just take over TNA's creative in question? According to Ray, like if WWE's creative team begins to overpower that is that the creative team to overpower the of TNA, then TNA will effectively become like another branch of WWE instead of its own separated entirety. Like which Ray has enjoyed for several years. And he added, I hope to continue to see TNA do their things on their own. Then if WWE goes, hey, like this girl, like Jordan Grace, she looks amazing. She's doing great in the ring. We'd like to bring her in the Royal Rumble. Oh, by the way, she did great at the Royal Rumble. We can continue to use her. Blah blah blah. That is a working relationship with that. The latest notch in the WWE TNA partnership saw the surprise appearance of TNA Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich on this week's episode of NXT, which Slamovich exchanged glances with the NXT star Core Jade. And do you think that could be a future feud NXT crossover, with WWE renewing its deal with the Nashville-based promotion for it to be a multi-year deal? And and what are your thoughts on Bubba Ray's opinion about the event? And do you think that it's gonna stay this way, or do you think WWE's gonna try to offer to buy it, just like how McMahon tried to when Dixie Carter was the owner? But yeah, I guess that'll be it for now, Assassinators, and I hope y'all enjoyed the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you Assassinators need to know from the Wrestling Inc. article. Let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite out of this list. And if I had to pick one, I'll say probably with the rumored dates of the next Saturday night's main event, which is gonna be in May and in July, just like how just like on yeah, that's like AEW did the Battle of the Belts. But excuse me for a moment. Yeah, hey sis, sorry about that. I'm on my way right now. Okay, I'll get my launch things. I should say, yeah. I guess you could just okay, bet. All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome, sis. All right, bye bye. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your story is, and also mine. If I had to pick one, I would give it to. I'll say yeah, Saturday night's main event rumored dates on what dates it's gonna be. What's gonna be in the same either weekend or same date as AEW's pay per views Double or Nothing and All In. And do you think they're gonna win the ratings war if they do put them on which I think they're doing this because they don't have no other pay-per-views, first of all. And second of all, like they're just trying to face off against AEW, which I'm sorry, WWE, but you're probably going to be losing since it's not going to be a major pay-per-view event. So I think that even though there's going to be people that cannot afford pay-per-views, you're probably going to be watching it. But for those that can afford to, like they're going to be able to watch it because AEW going to have their pay-per-view is going to be featured on the Max streaming service. Well, just like AEW, what's it called? Grand Slam is going to be next week. Next month when they go to Australia. But is that going to be the first time that we're going to be seeing it on the Max streaming service? Luckily, I have that streaming service in particular. But yeah, I just think that's what's going to be the case. Like with AEW, just going to beat them just by a pinch more of ratings that they have. And also, sorry about what yesterday when I made my football news, which only made like a few. And I never got a chance to say goodbye to you guys, but now I'm going to get a chance to say today. And I'm going to ask you which one was your favorite news story out of the Bleachers Report. Just the Bleachers Report was giving me some issues, and my webcam was having some connection technical difficulties. So I would never be able to get a chance to and make another video, but now I'm making this. But even though it's for wrestling, not for football, I'm gonna try to make it up for the Sunday, like for what I did not get a chance to talk about, but on the ESPN article. But yeah, but I'd say my favorite news story on that list, I'll say probably is Travis Kelce being the number one pick on the Pro Bowl, like for the week before the Super Bowl. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video and yesterday's video, even though you really got a chance to do so, because it barely lasted for like 20 minutes, a little bit over 20 minutes to be the exact. But yeah, if y'all did enjoy this, indeed, like please make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Consider hit the subscribe and the post notification bell for more SNA videos. And make sure to check out my Friday Night SmackDown review, which is going to be tonight, which I'm not sure who's going to be competing tonight. But all I know is that the Wyatt 6 was move over to Raw from the transfer window. So there could be some kind of plans that they're going to be having to be on there. Like even if the Final Testament follows suit with him, like we could see them continuing this way, or maybe they can have their final match like on Raw, or maybe in an upcoming pay-per-view to end their feud for good, and they can move on and see different factions and whatnot. Like when a couple breaks up, they go see other people. But yeah, like maybe we can see them like make some kind of like they're gonna be doing some kind of an angle there on tonight's SmackDown, and we're probably gonna be seeing a segment with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, and then we're gonna probably see some stuff with the Women's United States Championship, the Men's United States Championship, the Women's Tag Team Championship, then I believe the Men's Tag Team Championship division. We're gonna be seeing the Motor City Machine Guns against Los Garza. I think that's the only match that's gonna be on the card in the number one contenders finals match. The winner gets to face DIY for those titles. And who do you think is gonna win in your predictions? Let me guys know in the comments down below, and I hope y'all have a fabulous Friday afternoon, and I'll see you all in the next video with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin, out of here. Bye-bye, my Assassinators. Y'all take care and have a fabulous and a fashionable Friday. I guess you can say enough with the assassin and fashion jokes, I guess you could say. But my point is, I'll see you guys soon. So yeah, make sure to think about the one thing that there's not going to be. There's not going to be as the last day as the last day on the world, and like the two things that you should or three things I should say, the three things that you should know that there's not going to be an end of: the world, wrestling, and Super Ninja Austin. But for now, see you guys on the next video. Bye.